And welcome to episode 16 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah and this is my podcast all about knitting, crochet and all the crafty goodness. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah, who actually turns 2 this month, so happy birthday Jonah! On social media wise, you can find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry, and you can also find my knitting patterns on Ravelry under Yarnia Designs too. So hopefully I'll have links for those in the down bar if you're interested in going and checking those out. So I've got a couple of admin-y things just to update you all on. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably be aware that I released the Sulcum shawl pattern yesterday, and I'm really excited about this. I've got it here to show you. Hang on. Right, so this is the Sulcum shawl. It's a crescent-shaped shawl. I have shown it before on the podcast, but we have had quite a few new subscribers, so I thought I'd just show it again so that you know what I'm talking about. So this is now live on Ravelry, and I've included a discount code, which is Sulcum20. I'll write that on the screen and also in the down bar so that you know how it's spelt. Sulcum20, and you'll get 20% off the pattern price until the end of July the 8th. So it's Sunday, July the 8th, that discount will be running until. So just wanted to give people that give my patterns a go when they first come out a bit of a discount, just to say thank you. Because I really, really appreciate everyone who gives my patterns a go. And really appreciate all the nice comments I've had about this shawl in particular. So it might be a little bit creased because I have had it folded up ready to show. But yeah, it's basically a garter stitch crescent shaped shawl with little eyelet rows, and then you've also got little lace sections here, and then at the end you've got this big lace section, which is, I think, really fun. And it was named, the pattern was named after the town of Sulcum in Devon, here in the UK, which is somewhere I've spent quite a lot of my childhood on holidays, visiting my grandparents around that area. So yeah, it's when I was knitting it, the lace pattern with the waves and just reminded me of water, and then this one at the end sort of reminded me of the sails on boats. So, and anyone who's been to Salcombe knows that there are loads of boats there, so it just made sense to me to call this the Salcombe shawl, and it's just a place that is very dear to my heart. So yeah, if you're interested, go have a look on Ravelry, and yeah. Woo. Right, so let me just have a little drink of coffee. Oh, I haven't talked to you about what I'm wearing. So I am wearing a new FO. So I showed this as a whip on my last episode, and this is the Riley tee, which is a pattern by Amy Christophers, and it was in the last issue of Pom Pom Quarterly, which is, I think, issue 25, and it is a garter striped t-shirt. I'll just stand up to show you. So it's a garter stripe t-shirt, which is sort of constructed in the style of the log cabin blanket, I think. You sort of work in little panels, and then you pick up stitches along the side of various sections. But it was really, really fun and interesting construction. So the pattern actually asks you to use sport weight yarn, but I've used fingering weight yarn because I wanted to just try it and see if I could use two random skeins that I had in my stash. So the two colours I've used, the more pinky colour is Beehive Yarns in the Rose Lichen or Rose Lichen colourway, and the other colour, which is sort of greys and browns and all sparkly, is Vine Yarns in her Dirty on Purpose colourway, and that one's on her sparkle base. So yeah, but I'm actually really, really pleasantly surprised with how it turned out, because I was worried that it was going to be too small, but it has actually got quite a bit of ease. So it's quite nice and light and airy for this hot weather we're having at the moment. I think the sleeves were possibly a bit smaller. I don't know how I've managed that, but in the picture, the end of the sleeves goes down to like a lot longer than mine have turned out. I know this one I've bound off tighter than on this one, but it's not really that noticeable. So, but yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. So I definitely recommend that pattern. The only thing I've managed to do is, I don't know if you can notice, but just here, where it's meant to stripe, I'm sure I've double checked the pattern and I followed it exactly, but I ended up with 3 rows of the same colour. But I wouldn't know that until I went to pick up stitches here and followed what it said. So I'm not sure whether I picked up the stitches wrong or misread it, but if anyone else has knit this, let me know. But it's not really that noticeable, I don't think, unless you're looking for that. So yeah, that's the only FO I've got to show you, but I'm really, really pleased with that one. So I'm glad it's warm enough to just wear t-shirts, and yeah, it's the right sort of weather for this sort of garment at the moment. So I'm pleased I managed to get it finished whilst it's still nice and warm here in the UK. Not that I could really spend too much time outside in it, because I feel like it's just too hot to spend any time outside wearing anything at the moment. So I'm not the kind of person that can just sit in the sun and bake in the heat. I just burn super easily, so that's not me at all. If I sit outside, it's in the shade. So yeah. Anyway, bit of a ramble there about where I like to sit. Right. So I've only got a couple of whips that I'm going to show you today because there's one thing in particular that I've spent most of my time working on because I've just become a bit obsessed with this one project. And basically I decided that I wanted to cast on the Fading Point by Bouquet Locatelli. And this, I've got a picture of it here. Don't know the pattern picture that I've printed out. My printer is not the best. Or I think it's running out of some colours of the ink, so hopefully you can see that okay. But it's this giant shawl, like rectangular wrap, that seems like it's got a really interesting construction. And I have never knit a Bouquet pattern before. So because I was so excited about casting this on, I've also never knit a fade before either. So it's my first time knitting a Bouquet pattern, my first time knitting any fade. So in my excitement, I've decided to host a knit-along for anyone to join in knitting any of Bouquet Locatelli's patterns. Because I've got so many of hers in my favourites and in my Ravelry queue. And I love her patterns, and I finally decided to give one a go. And I know a lot of people are knitting the Fading Point or Like a Cloud cardigan, so I thought it would be a good one where a lot of people could join in and we could all talk about knitting Bouquet patterns together. Because this is such a big undertaking as well, this project. It's going to take me a long time. And I'm thinking if I've got this motivation of the Cal and lots of people motivating each other, then I think that would be really good to actually get this done. So it actually takes 5 whole skeins of fingering weight yarn. So I'm just going to get those. Oh, actually, I'm just going to tell you a bit more about the rules of the Cal. It's running from now up until the end of, I think I'm allowing approximately 3 months, so up until the end of 30th of September this year. So, I mean, I might extend that later if I've not finished this, or if people are struggling to finish the projects that they've started, then I might extend it. But I thought 3 months sounds like quite a good amount of time to run a Cal for. So you should be able to, I think, get garments and big 5 skein projects like this done, I think, within 3 months. So yeah, and I'm also allowing whips. So because I know a lot of people are already knitting a lot of her patterns, I didn't want to exclude people. So I'm allowing whips if they are less than 50% complete as of the time I started this Cal, which I'd have to check on Instagram. It was probably the day that I opened the thread on Ravelry. So if it was less than 50% done at that time, then go ahead and enter into the Cal and join in with us. It's really, really fun. So I've also said that you can enter multiple times if you knit more than one of her patterns or one of her projects. So one finished object is one entry into the Cal. So I'm going to be getting hopefully a couple of prizes together, and I'll try and come up with some things myself, and then I'll give away copies of my patterns as well as part of the prizes. But if anyone would like to donate any prizes to the Cal, that would be really awesome. But yeah, I hate like asking for things like that. But if anyone would like to donate anything towards the Cal, it would be really, really appreciated. So yeah, just thought I'd put that out there. If you're interested, great. If not, that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to show you the 5 colours that I am using for my Fading Point. I'll just get out the 5 skeins first before I show you what I've done so far. I think it'll be a bit easier. Okay, so don't know if I'm going to be able to hold them all at once. I will try. I'll show you them individually first. So this is the first one that I'm starting with. And this one is, I don't know how to say the name of this dye. Is it Oshitita? Oshitita? I'm going to be completely saying this wrong. I have no idea how to say it, so, and I'm going to have to say this probably on every episode a couple of times. So if anyone knows how to pronounce that, please let me know, because I'm really struggling. I tried Googling it and I couldn't find out how to pronounce it. It just told me how to say yarn. But if anyone knows how to pronounce that, please let me know, because it will save me looking like an idiot on every single podcast until the end of September. But yes, this is Oshitita in the Cry Wolf colourway. So that's the first one. And then we're going into this colour, which is Leading Men Fibre Arts. And this is the Upside Down colourway, which is a Stranger Things reference, which only makes me love the colourway even more than I did already. But it's gorgeous. It's got these sections of grey and dark, moody purples. I just love it. Hopefully it's not blowing out too much. Okay, it's blowing out. It's hard to tell. That's pretty true to colour. Yeah. So that's the second colour. Then the third colour is this one, which is House of Alamode. Oh, I'm messy cake there. So this is House of Alamode in the Antique colourway, which is absolutely gorgeous. So this is my first time trying all of these dyers actually. Oh, apart from the next one. The next one is Labian Amé, which I have used once before, but I've not used this colourway. And this is the Peanut Butter and Jelly colourway on the singles base. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. Oh, I love all of them. So that's why this project is just such a happy, satisfying project for me to work on at the moment, because it's just bringing me so much joy. And I just love all the different colours that I'm using. And then the last one is another by Oshitita. And this is the Ella El La colourway. And that's, yeah, sorry, the Oshitita ones and Labian Amé are all on singles bases, but the other two are not. So I am mixing up the bases a bit, but that sort of thing doesn't really bother me. I think Jonah's licking my foot. This is weird. Stop licking it. He sat under the table just here, and he's got his paw on my foot, and then he started licking it. It's just really weird and creepy. But yeah, so I'll try and show you these all together. Ooh, I knew this was going to be difficult. So that's 3. So those are the 5 I'm using together. It looks like a bouquet. I'm holding them like this, like a bouquet of flowers. Bouquet of yarns. Oh, and they're all purples as well. So this is continuing the theme of last episode, which was called, I think I called it, We've Got a Purple Problem. And clearly I've got a purple problem. So this is I think it was my friend Kate said, you have to call it the Purple Problems shawl. So yeah, it's official. This is my Purple Problems shawl. aka The Fading Point by Hoki Locatelli. So yeah, those are the yarns I'm using, and this is my progress so far. So I'm onto the second colour on the first section of the shawl. So hopefully you can see it with the light. So you can just sort of see there's this, start off here, it starts off like a little triangular shawl, and then you end up, I'm now working in a sort of rectangular, no, in a sort of chevron shape, because I'm now seeing the corner of the shawl, which is really exciting to see it starting to take its shape. And there's these gorgeous lace sections, and then that's the transition into my second colour there. I just absolutely love working on this at the moment. So I'm now just about to start the first lace section in the second colour. And then so I'm really enjoying the garter sections because they're just so relaxing and sort of like my TV knitting. And then I'm also really enjoying the lace sections every so often, just because they keep it interesting. I really, really enjoy that in a pattern where you don't feel like you're doing the same thing for too long. Oh, and I've got my little progress keeper from Frosted Betty's on here. I think her company's called Sugar Tots. I think she's called Frosted Betty's on Instagram. And it's a little sleepy tea bag. I love him. So yeah, this is the Fading Point so far. And this is mostly what I've been working on. I'll be honest, it has distracted me from my design work this week, but you know, sometimes you just need some really selfish, satisfying knitting. But I don't know if that's a good angle to show this at. Because I'm using a fairly short needle, I can't show you the full sort of shape at the moment, but as I make more progress, it'll be a bit easier to show you, I think. So yeah, that's the Fading Point. Oh, I forgot to say that's living in my Emerald Fibres bag at the moment. But I have ordered a giant bag to keep all of this in, because 5 skeins, it's a lot. I don't have many huge project bags, so I have ordered one, but it's not here yet, so I won't talk about it and show you until it arrives. Right, so the only other thing I've worked on slightly is living in my thimble and thread bag, which is so cute with the mushrooms and foxes. I love this fabric, it's gorgeous. So the only other thing I've worked on are my Rick and Morty socks. So I've now finished one sock completely. I think I was partway through the ribbing last time I spoke to you. I've now finished one sock, minus a heel. I'm going to be doing afterthought heels once I've finished both socks. So this main colourway is Jinx Yarns in the colourway C137, I think it is, which is a reference to the TV show Rick and Morty. So it's these awesome, bright, crazy colours. I absolutely love it. And the heel I'm going to do in the same black yarn, which is just a West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply. So it's going to have black cuff and black heels. And I've now started the second sock. So I've partly designated this my World Cup knitting just because it's got so much green, and I thought looks a bit like the football pitch. So I did most of this whilst watching the last game. The last England game. So I don't normally watch football, but I'm getting quite into this one, into the World Cup stuff. Only the England games, really. Just finding it quite fun to knit along on something like this. So these might be designated my World Cup socks. So, but it'll only be for as long as England are in it, because I can't be bothered to watch all of the games. So we shall see. I think the next one is on Tuesday. So see how much more knitting I get to do on these during the football. Then I suppose. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to show you today. Fairly short and sweet, I think, compared to my usual episodes. But I hope you still enjoyed what I've had to show you. I don't think I've got much else to say apart from join in with the Ho-He cowl that I'm doing. I forgot to say what the hashtag is for that. I think it's Ho-He Low-Cat cowl, and I'll write that on the screen and do the down bar, so that you can use that if you want to post about it on Instagram or anything. So yeah, please join in with that. It would be really, really fun for you to knit along with me. Doesn't have to be the fading point. You can knit any of Ho-He's patterns. There are so many to choose from. So many gorgeous patterns. So yeah, let's have a knit along. And also the Salcombe shawl. Go check that out on Ravelry if you haven't already. And yeah, hope you all have a lovely couple of weeks till I next speak to you again. Bye!